Hey guys, my name is Daniel. I'm from Team Seller Logic in Düsseldorf, Germany. We are a software company that has laid its focus on creating software for people that sell on Amazon. And our portfolio consists of three tools. One is a repricing tool, the second one is a reimbursement claim tool, and the third one is a business analytics tool. The topic we're going to be talking to you about today is loosely tied to the reimbursement claims. We're going to be talking about FBA fees today. Naturally, as a company, we have a lot of sellers, a lot of clients that sell over Amazon FBA, and over the years we are able to pick up a trick or two, and of course lots of information on how to run your daily day-to-day, especially when you're leveraging Amazon FBA, and of course the Amazon FBA fees are an important part of that. So what we're going to cover in this video is, for one, what are exactly Amazon FBA fees, what is included in those Amazon FBA fees, what FBA fees do I have to pay, or rather what fees do I have to pay regardless whether I sell over FBA or FBM. But we're also going to look at the fees that may not be obvious to everyone, that even though they're not occurring on a daily basis, they are still recurrent, and at the end of the day, or at the end of the month or the year really, they are going to leave a sizable dent in your margins and therefore have to be taken into account as well. And to round it all up, we're going to have a look at how you can reduce those FBA fees, because at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. Keep our fees low, keep our margins high. I hope you enjoy it. And if you do, please do subscribe and like this video. Thanks. Okay, so first things first, what exactly is Amazon? What exactly are Amazon FBA fees? FBA, standing for Fulfillment by Amazon, is a fulfillment service which Amazon offers its sellers, where Amazon basically takes care of the shipping, it takes care of the returns, it also takes care of the customer service, of the storaging, the picking and packing, and it also allows the customers to reap the benefits of being able to boast the Amazon Prime logo. And I think, which is also a huge benefit, is it gives the sellers access to the Amazon Prime customers, which of course have a huge buying power, and gives the sellers a sizable reach. Of course, these services are invaluable to any seller, but they don't come for free. Naturally, of course, Amazon charges a fee for them, and those are precisely the Amazon FBA fees. Now, the thing is, how do you calculate them? That is not as straightforward as one might think, because the fees are dynamic in their pricing, meaning that they are dependent on other factors, on other criteria, such as the type and quantity of the product that is being shipped and stored. Naturally, if you want to sell TVs, the storage of a TV is going to cost more than the storage of a t-shirt. But it is also dependent on criteria such as the amount of time they are stored, naturally, but also the seasonality, and these kinds of factors. A lot of factors to take into account, which at the end of the day make the FBA fees dynamic in nature. Right, now let's take a look at the fees that you will have to pay for selling on Amazon, regardless of whether you use Amazon FBA or Amazon FBM. One of them, the most basic of those fees, if you want to call it basic, is the Amazon referral fee. So what is that? The referral fee is basically a core fee that you have to pay to Amazon because they allow you to sell on their platform. What is the benefit for you as a seller? Amazon is a huge platform. It has a lot of potential. It has a lot of potential buyers, which of course for you as a seller is a huge benefit. Amazon.com has 200 million monthly unique visitors every month. And of course, that is huge exposure as a seller. Amazon knows that, and therefore charges you this referral fee. The referral fee can vary between 6%. For example, if you sell personal computers, the referral fee will be 6%, but it can go up to 45%. That is seldomly the case. I think the 45% are only if you sell Amazon appliances or anything that has to do with Amazon appliances. Normally, the referral fee varies between 10 to 15%. As an example, musical instruments have a referral fee of 15%. If you sell clothing, the referral fee will be around 17%. So apart from these Amazon referral fees, there are other fees that you have to pay regardless of what fulfillment method you use. The Amazon subscription fees would be one of those. The subscription fees is just basically you having to pay a certain amount each month if you sell more than 40 items per month. because after that you're considered a professional seller. If you happen to sell more than 40 items a month, you will have to pay the subscription fee, which is $39.99 US. If you sell less than 40 items, you are an individual seller, this still makes you subject to a certain fee, and that fee is the per item fee, which is 99 cents per item. So for every item that you sell, you have to pay 99 cents as a fee. Another fee that you have to take into account are Amazon advertising fees. So sellers who use Amazon advertising to promote their products may be subject to the fees for sponsored product ads, for sponsored brand ads, and sponsored display ads, and these go from 10% to around 15%. Now, last but not least, we have the Amazon seller account fees. And depending on the type of account that you have, sellers may be subject to additional fees. What I just mentioned right now, the per item fee as an individual seller, this is, for example, an Amazon seller account fee. Another one would be the refund administration fee. What is that? For example, if you sell an item to a customer, you get the money already, but then the customer is unhappy and you have to refund that customer. Amazon will also refund you the referral fee, except the refund administration fee, which is 20% of the referral. All right, guys, let's take a closer look at what is included in the Amazon FBA fees. The fees that we were looking at right now just included seller fees. So basically, it doesn't matter if you sell over FBA, doesn't matter if you sell over FBM, you are going to pay the seller fees nonetheless. These next fees that we're going to talk about in this chapter are only part of the Amazon FBA process. So there's two fees that we can divide up into. One being the Amazon fulfillment costs or Amazon fulfillment fees. The second one being the inventory storage fees. The Amazon fulfillment costs are a fee per unit. So basically, you send all your products, all your units to Amazon, to an Amazon warehouse, and what happens to those products there, Amazon handles the picking and packing of those orders, the shipping and the handling, the customer service, and the product returns as well. And of course, these services, they do not come for free. Amazon charges you for them, and they charge you a fee per every single unit. And of course, the bigger and the heavier the unit or the product is, the higher the price that you will have to pay for the FBA processes that happen to this product and to this unit. And in general, we can say that these price segments, they vary, of course, from size according to the weight and dimension of your product. You have the small standard, you have the large standard, and then you have the oversized standard. Just so you know, a little bit of reference, small standard, the biggest package would be 15 inches times 12 inches times 0.75 inches. The shipping weight would be 12 to 16 ounces, and the highest you would ever pay for a fee per unit price here would be $3.77. When we come to the large standard, the largest product you could have would be 18 inches times 14 inches times 8 inches, and would be 3 pounds to 20 pounds. And the most you would pay would be $7.17, plus every half pound above those 3 pounds would be another 16 cents. And everything that goes over that is oversized. So and then the prices vary from, I think, $9.73 to, I think, $150 that you can pay per unit. We're of course not going to go through all these numbers here. That would make no sense and would be completely above the scope of what we're trying to do here. But what I'll do is I'll put the link with all the weights and dimensions and the corresponding prices into the description of this video. Okay, now let's take a closer look at the Amazon FBA inventory storage fee. As the name kind of already suggests, it's the fee that you have to pay in order for you to enable to send your products to an Amazon FBA warehouse, where Amazon will be maintaining, will be inventorizing, and will be storing your product for you. Now, there are two types of FBA storage fees that you have to take into account. One is the monthly storage fee, and the other one is the long-term storage fee. The monthly storage fee is very straightforward. At the end of the month, Amazon looks into the inventory and see how many how many products have you been storing at their FBA warehouse, and they charge you accordingly to it. Here also the concept is the same as with the Amazon FBA fulfillment costs. The weight and the dimension of your products are relevant here in order to be able to correspondingly charge you for it. So the bigger and the heavier your products are, the higher the charge will be, the more you have to pay. Now the long-term storage fee is a little bit different, because at the end of the day, of course, Amazon doesn't want to have lots of stuff lying around in their FBA Amazon warehouses for years. They want stuff to be sold naturally. So what they do is that at the 15th of each month, they will do an inventory cleanup in order to identify which products have been lying around in their shelves for 180 days or longer. And if a product has been stored for 365 days or longer, they're gonna be subject to the long-term storage fee, which is $6.90 per cubic square meter, per cubic foot of storage, or 15 cents per unit, whichever is greater. And of course, this will also be charged to your credit card directly or to your seller account. Now, take into account that what we just said about the Amazon FBA fulfillment costs and the inventory storage fees, this applies only to the US. There are other numbers for Europe, and also there are also other numbers. There are also different charges for apparel. But this also you will see in the link that we will provide for you in the description of this. Okay, guys, let's take a closer look at some certain FBA fees that might not be recurring in nature, meaning that they won't end up at the foots of your bill every single month, but they may be important for you because depending on what situation your company is in, you may want to keep them in the back of your mind, possibly because you may want to circumvent them in some sort of way in order to keep your FBA fees as low as possible. That's just one example of many. There are different subcategories that we would have to keep in mind here, and the three most important are as follows. For one, you would have the inventory removal charges. This happens when you want Amazon to stop storing your products at an Amazon FBA warehouse, and you want Amazon to send those items back to your place or to another warehouse or to your garage. In any case, you don't want those items to remain in an Amazon warehouse. There could be two reasons for that. Reason number one is you don't want to use Amazon FBA anymore because you found a better 3PL provider. The second one, and this is the more common option, is that you are trying to circumvent the long-term storage fee that Amazon has. Let's say you have a product on your portfolio and this product is simply not selling. It's just a shelf warmer and it's been so for a really long period of time. The thing is, Amazon will charge you a long-term storage fee for this product. We'll get more into detail what the long-term storage fee is a little bit later on. But the thing is, if you want to circumvent that fee, you will want Amazon to send you that item from their warehouse to your garage, let's just say. In order to do that, Amazon will charge you. They won't do that for free. And what they will charge you is 50 to 60 cents per item for the removal and sending it back to your house. And I think this is only for standard sized items or packages. Once you want to send back an oversized item, of course, the more heavier and the larger the item gets, of course, the more Amazon will charge, right? But for the standard size package, it's 50 to 60 cents per item. What you can also do, this is much cheaper, but then you will lose the product, is you can tell Amazon, hey, listen, don't send it back to me, but just directly dispose of it. And that will cost you, if it's a standard size package, 15 cents to 30 cents per item. So that was the inventory removal charge. The second one I want to talk to you guys about is called the penalty charge. So the penalty charges are basically Amazon charging you for your mistakes or for not following their rules. But Amazon has very strict seller criteria, and they impose fines to penalize sellers that fail to comply with these criteria. And I'll be honest, like the criteria, they're very strict. Just to give you one example, when it comes to labeling requirements, right? Amazon's labeling requirements include white space surrounding the Amazon barcode and related text. But that's not the only thing they wanted to have. They wanted to be 0.25 inches on the sides and 0.125 inches on the top and bottom. And if you don't comply with that, they are going to charge you because they will have to relabel. So in case you happen to have a lot of charges, or on your FBA fees you see a lot of charges that are caused by penalty charges, you may want to check. You may want to up your labeling game in order to circumvent those. The third charge, or the third fee that I want to talk to you guys about, is the package preparation fees. This is pretty straightforward. Some people say, listen, I don't really have the time to pack all my products. I want Amazon to do that for me. This will of course end up in more fees as well. And this is actually, to be really honest, this is actually up to you. Like, depending on your profit margins and your order volume, having Amazon pack your packages for you might either save you time or add to your expenses. So this is completely up to you how you want to handle that. So when you own a business, what you'll want to do is you'll want to naturally keep your overhead as low as possible. One way to do that, if you're selling on Amazon, is to minimize your FBA fees. And an effective way to do that is to get reimbursed for every single FBA error that happens on Amazon's watch. What exactly do I mean with that? When Amazon conducts the FBA processes, of course they make mistakes, because they have to conduct a million processes simultaneously. Mistakes happen, and they happen on a regular basis. Nonetheless, they do happen with your products and due to Amazon's negligence, which means you are left with a detriment, and of course then also with a reimbursement claim that you can file to Amazon, and they will pay you your money back. The problem is that Amazon doesn't proactively reimburse you for their mistakes. That means you have to approach Amazon on your own. So the first step in doing so is to identify what went wrong exactly, what kind of error case type happened. And one of the error case types that we at SellerLogic see most of the time are miscalculations from Amazon in regard to the FBA fees. The main reason for these miscalculations is, for example, that they measure the packages they send for you wrong. They measure them and they write down the wrong numbers. They say the package is actually bigger than it is in reality, and they charge you too much money. This surplus amount that they overcharge you, you can get reimbursed. Getting reimbursed is extremely important if you want to keep your overhead costs at a minimum. The reason for this is that many sellers don't file their reimbursement claims because they think to themselves, well, the reimbursement amount is around $4. I'm not going to invest half an hour of my time to get $4 back. And then these little amounts, they amass to a larger amount. In general, we can say out of experience that sellers lose about $6,800 each year due to unclaimed reimbursements. How do we know this? It's because we have been claiming reimbursements since 2016 and doing so successfully. We have had companies who got 200,000 euros back in one single go after using our tool. And that's why it is super important to get reimbursed for the mistakes, for the FBA errors that Amazon does. How do you do that? If you're not using a tool, what you'll have to do is log on to Seller Central, get in touch with customer support, go through the jungle of forms and documents that you need in order to make that reimbursement claim, and then get in contact with Seller Central, making your claim, and hope for the best. It's possible to do it on your own, but I'll be honest, it's a tedious process. As I said, that's why a lot of reimbursement claims don't come through or are simply not filed, because it's just not worth the time investing half an hour or more to get a reimbursement claim that is around $4 to $5. A lot of people just simply don't do it. What you can do, of course, is get a tool like Amazon, like our Lost and Found tool, that automates the process for you. The only thing that you will have to do then is copy paste the text that we have prepared for you into Seller Central and wait for Amazon's response. Even if Amazon rejects the claim, you can still come back to us and say, hey, Amazon rejected this claim out of this and this reason, and then we will keep on working the case for you until there's absolutely no chance of you getting the money back, or until we get your money back. All right, guys, I guess that is all for today. We have covered all the relevant topics in regard to Amazon FBA fees, but while we covered all the relevant topics, we only scratched the surface of each one of them. So if you want to go into more detail on FBA fees, you'll really have to get entrenched into what into how much revenue your company is making, what are the costs, what are the expenses, and everything like that. If you want to find out more info on FBA fees or Amazon FBA in general, feel free to visit our blog on www.sellerlogic.com. Or if you want to go even one step further and work on the profitability of your company, feel free to contact us and ask us about our new tool, the SellerLogic Business Analytics. What does Business Analytics do? It basically does exactly what I said a second ago. It monitors your revenue and your expenses, juxtaposes them, and enables you to check out for pathways that make your company as profitable as possible. Well, in any case, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to get in contact with me, feel free to do so. I'll put my LinkedIn link into the video description. And if you want to contact SellerLogic directly, I'll also put a link for that in the description as well. Have a nice day, guys. I hope to hear from you in the future.